And joining us in just a second will be our expert panel. But right now, I'm joined by journalist extraordinaire and editor-at-large for the Australian Business Review, Ticky Fullerton. Ticky, thank you so very much for joining us on the front page tonight. We've got some breaking news. Obviously, the UK have announced their new Prime Minister in former Foreign Secretary, now Prime Minister-elect Liz Truss. You spoke to her only just recently. What can the UK expect from her premiership?
Well, Liz Truss was the hot favourite, wasn't she? I spoke to her in London just before she came out to Australia as Foreign Secretary. She basically models herself on Margaret Thatcher. She's a Brexiteer. She actually voted for Remain, but she's a confirmed Brexiteer now. I guess the biggest thing about Liz Truss, who, she didn't get the landslide she was expecting against Rishi Sunak. I think she got 57% of the votes as opposed to his 43%. But nevertheless, she is in there now, and she'll be heading into number 10 tomorrow. The really interesting thing about her, I suppose, is the crisis that she's got ahead of her. And whereas Margaret Thatcher in 1979 came in just after the winter of discontent, I think that winter of discontent is heading her way. This winter in Britain, she has got a staggering energy crisis to deal with. I mean, we think of a cost of a living crisis here in this country. It is nothing like what is going on in the UK. If you just imagine energy bills in October are going to go up from about £1,500 a year to over £3,000 a year for the average household. And we're talking about $6,000 a year for an average household. She has ruled out a whole lot of things, which again, it's boxed her in really and made it very difficult for her, I think, to move forward. She's not going to raise any taxes. She says there's going to be no blackouts. There's going to be no big super profits tax from the industry. How she's going to do it and deliver what may well be some sort of freeze on energy prices, how she's going to pay for it. She's going to have to do a great big government loan. This is all going to be very difficult to behave like Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, indeed. Look, she's just addressed the party faithful. Let's have a listen to what she had to say.
Therefore, I give notice that Liz Truss is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. We'll come up on stage.
As your party leader, I intend to deliver what we promised those voters right across our great country.
Now, of course, as you just outlined, Ticky, she's a Thatcherette and Thatcherette light, and I guess all of the Britons can brace to what to expect coming their winter. As, I guess, former Foreign Secretary, what can Australia expect from Liz Truss, Prime Minister?
Well, I reckon that we're going to be fairly far down the queue on the foreign front. We've just had the Trade Secretary out here, the British Trade Secretary, in the last couple of weeks. And of course, we've had this free trade agreement that's been agreed between Australia and the UK. Maybe she'll use that to come out here. I doubt it will be very soon, though. She's got an enormous amount in her in tray. She'll be at the UN Assembly over in New York within about 10 days or so, and that's going to be a very big meeting for her as Prime Minister. She's going to, obviously, dominating that assembly will be Ukraine. She's going to be wanting, along with President Biden, to put a lot of pressure on the European countries to stand firm when they're under a lot of stress, obviously, with Russian gas. And then, of course, she's got the Northern Ireland Protocol, which she wants to wind back a little bit to free up the trade between the UK and Northern Ireland, because the Brexit, the Northern Ireland Protocol, has basically put a border in the Irish Sea. Now, President Biden is not very warm to this idea, so she's got a challenge there. And I think she's going to be tougher on China, which will be interesting for our region. But I would say that we are quite far down the list.
Indeed. Look, she's got a very busy domestic and international agenda before she heads down under. But Ticky Fullerton, business editor-at-large for The Australian, we can read all of your news and your wonderful analysis piece in tomorrow's Australian. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the front page. And let's
Great to be there. Thanks, Jen.